Welcome back to PM Express Business Edition. As we talk about stabilizing the economy, what should be done to sustain these current trends that we are seeing? Because some will say that we have seen it before. What are the threats to it? We're talking about the economy, we're talking about private sector. And now let's talk about Africa, integration, and the threats to the Ghanaian economy. Dr. Ishmael Yamson, what do you make of what is happening in South Africa? Because some might say that Ghana is not an island. It has an implication on the Ghanaian economy. Are you worried by what happened in South Africa? The xenophobic attacks on Ghanaians being returned to this economy? And whether we've even done enough as an economy, receiving these people. And I also come to a company that you chair. But first, let me get your thoughts on this xenophobic attacks.
No, it's what's happening in South Africa is of a big worry to me and to many people, and I know that a big worry to Ghanaians and to the government of Ghana. I was in South Africa 3 weeks ago to speak on African integration and immigration, and I meant no words. It was,
did you speak truth to power?
I spoke truth to power. And I told them clearly that even if all the foreigners were to leave South Africa, their problems will still remain. It's a matter of a state failure. They have badly managed their economy. Even the apartheid government left them an economy better than what they have today. And yet they now turn around and blame foreigners. When I was growing up, the area from Foreign Affairs, the new Foreign Affairs, all the way down to Bellagio, was called Freedom Fighters Village. And Nkrumah built the whole area to bring freedom fighters to train in Ghana. People from Zimbabwe, from South Africa, from Uganda, from whatever. Using Ghana's money after apartheid. I'll give you an example. In Unilever, for instance, the highest trained person in Unilever South Africa was a supervisor. So we had to send people from here, from Unilever Ghana, to go and help them in South Africa. I went to school with South African children, students, pupils, whose fathers were here as people who have run away from South Africa. So for them to suddenly rise up against, and that's why Museveni says, for 60 years, he supported the ANC. And now, the foreigners are the criminals, the foreigners are the ones who are taking their jobs, the foreigners are the ones who are doing all the bad things, and therefore they should go away. I told them there, I said, we have experience in Ghana, but even in us, we were decent enough to give the foreigners time to either regularize their stay or leave. Here, you have mobs and hooligans, people you yourself call criminals, chasing Ghanaians and Nigerians and Zimbabweans and Ugandans and violently to send them away. No, it's bad. And at the same time, we are talking about Africa free trade, continental, whatever type area. So the trade will come with what? Horses and ships. How do you trade without people? You cannot trade without people. You want the trade, but you don't want the people who bring the trade.
Look, I asked a question about speaking truth to power because in all these things, some have also blamed the politicians in that country for not openly condemning it. And I'll go to a very sensitive area, which I know you don't want to talk about, but we will talk about it. Some are also blaming the corporate entities in South Africa. MTN Global, you are a chairman in Ghana here. We didn't see them even issue a statement to condemn that. So I'm saying, whilst we blame the politicians, the corporate sector also kept mute, and all these things were going on.
No, actually, that is not true. The corporate sector in South Africa has been very outspoken against it. The MTN chairman spoke directly, and he condemned it in no uncertain terms. Here in Ghana, we have a South Africa Ghana Business House Chamber. We issued a statement and condemned it. what I must admit is that if you come to Ghana, MTN is big. Yeah. And therefore, everybody would expect MTN
to come out and issue a statement.
Yes, and I apologize that we haven't done that. But sometimes when you belong to a chamber, and the chamber has made a statement, when you step aside and give your own statement, you are being seen
that
yes.
MTN is big. It's
but huge. I understand.
A statement condemning this
definitely.
Would
and
not
let me say now here that we condemn it unreservedly. We have nothing to do with it. We dissociate ourselves from it completely. We have over 120,000 Ghanaians as shareholders in MTN Ghana. MTN Ghana is a corporate citizen of Ghana. It is not MTN South Africa. Even the group itself, its shareholders are more American than South African. It only happens that the headquarters is there. But what is happening in South Africa is bad. And I can tell you that we are angry. I mean, I am particularly angry because the politicians in South Africa should have known that they cannot talk about integration, encourage their companies to invest in Africa, and at the same time treat the rest of Africa as if it's a toilet roll. They can walk on it anytime they like, right? So yes, we should have done it long time, but it is not also entirely correct that we have not made a statement. We haven't made a statement as MTN Ghana. That is correct. And we should have, and I admit.
Dr. Yamson, I mean, speaking in the capacity as chairman of MTN Ghana, you condemn these things.
I condemn it. I dissociate MTN Ghana from it completely. We have nothing to do with it. We just think that it belongs to the Stone Age. It's not something that anybody should have been contemplating doing it. Because the Ghanaians who are there, Ghanaians are very law-abiding. Today, 2 Ghanaians their lives are perished, right? So we condemn it. Our group chairman has condemned it, and we condemn it, and we dissociate ourselves completely from it. We have nothing to do with it. Indeed, let me tell you, George, one thing that maybe it has not been also visible is what have we done to support.
And I'll come to that one also, because Dr. Yamson, there are some Ghanaians who are very bitter, and maybe bitter might be even an understatement. There are some who are saying that if they are doing this into Ghanaians there, let's target their businesses here in Ghana. MTN Ghana, it's a huge target.
Yeah.
Stanbic Ghana is a huge target.
Yeah.
Absa Ghana is a huge target. What do you respond to people who are bitter, and I'll say that it's an understatement, that say that if you're doing this thing to even Ghanaians who are legal Ghanaians there, attacking Ghanaian business in South Africa, let's reciprocate.
But, well, that will be a genuine feeling, but it will not help us, and it will not help Ghana. I've told you that 120,000 Ghanaians have shares in MTN. Every employee in MTN, maybe 98% of employees in MTN are Ghanaians, right? All our other dealers are Ghanaians. So if you target MTN Ghana, you can target it, but at the end of the day, you are destroying something that you should protect. Because we should protect MTN Ghana for what it does. If you talk about our contribution in terms of taxes, MTN is the biggest taxpayer in this country. So MTN is a corporate citizen of Ghana, incorporated in Ghana, operates under Ghana laws. It is just unfortunate that the politicians in South Africa have not been able to stand up to condemn what is happening in South Africa, and we now have to suffer a collateral damage out of that. But nobody, and I will say it, no business person, no South African business person that I know or company supports what is going on. And I must say again that we dissociate ourselves from it completely. We're against it. I have been in South Africa myself personally to speak against it as chairman of MTN Ghana. If I have done it there, why should I say I support it? I can't. And I would never support it.
Again, sorry for my line of question. I know this is something that you don't really
okay.
want to talk about. But there are some who are saying that, I mean, if the South African government failed to protect registered, lawful Ghanaian businesses in South Africa, why should the government of Ghana do that for the same South African business in Ghana here?
No, because you see, the two wrongs don't make one good. Maybe the kind of businesses in South Africa that the Ghanaians have are not significant to their economy as MTN Ghana is to the economy of Ghana. So, and I know Ghanaians, we are rational people. We are very rational people. And I think that Ghanaians are not the kind of people who will retaliate simply because you have done something against Ghanaians there. We have to be able to separate what is happening in South Africa by South Africans to Ghanaians to what, because the MTN Ghana has not done anything to anybody in Ghana, here in Ghana, has not reneged on any of its commitments to this country. Let him tell you. And there's no company in Ghana that does that. Every year we put 1% of our tax, 1% of our profit after tax into a foundation that we invest in social investment. We invest in hospitals, we invest in schools, we invest in girls' education, we invest in women's empowerment. There's no company like that. So, yes, what is happening in South Africa is bad, but we need not equate that to MTN Ghana. No, that will be for me rather killing the very golden goose that lays the golden eggs.
When the profits are made,
Yes.
they repatriate those profits to South Africa.
Pardon?
Do they repatriate the profits to South Africa and help the South African economy?
No. Again, that is a mistake.
Yeah.
Because the shareholders of the group are not 100% South African. In fact, there are more shareholders American shareholders in the group than South African shareholders. So, I mean, this is open, you can check.
It's a listed entity, you can check.
So, it's but except that the company is headquartered in South Africa and it was started there. But the shareholding is not largely South African. It's just like here. So, what I'm saying is that we should see MTN Ghana as a corporate citizen of Ghana and see what good is MTN Ghana doing for Ghana and Ghanaians. That is what should be important to us.
Talking about what is good for Ghana and what MTN is doing for Ghana, when the Ghanaians were brought into this economy, and I'm still going to areas where I know it's a listed entity, some are saying that we saw a lot of corporate institutions behind the scenes move and support these Ghanaians. Again, there are people who don't see MTN Ghana here and they say, of course, we said it, it's a South African company and they are supporting these things. What has MTN Ghana done or was doing for these Ghanaians who had to return home? I know some private individuals who even contributed financially to bring these Ghanaians back home.
And I must thank all those and I must commend those companies. George, it's something that I regret myself because we should have moved faster. There may be sometimes when you want to be too perfect, you lose time. But when the issue broke, and I can tell you, the board immediately decided that we will set aside 10 million cedis to welcome as a welcome back. But we then later realized that, look, okay, you give them data, you give them this, and then when they have spent it, what next? So maybe we should change the framework a bit. So what we then began to decide is those, and many of them have lost their businesses. Many of them. Some, and I understand they were allowed only 2 suitcases to when they are on their return. So how do we create a fund that we use to help these people to start life all over again? Is that, let's say, when you teach, when you give a man a fish, it's better than teaching him how to fish.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that? So that 10 million that we're going to use in the, to welcome them, that putting that into action delayed because we had to draw it back because we needed to add additional 10 million that we would put in a fund to set it. I think the mistake that we made was not to have engaged the Minister of Foreign Affairs immediately about this. But everybody knows. I mean, we had discussions many times with the sector minister. So it's not that we do not want to do it. It's not that we don't care. It's not that we don't have empathy. But we think that we need to do it in a more different, more permanent way that will allow these people to rebuild their lives when they are back in Ghana. So those arrangements have already been made. Those arrangements have already been made.
And when would that be advanced towards these people?
I've been asked this question, you're asking me a number of times, and I know that sometimes when you are big, your internal bureaucracy can also delay a few things. But we have not forgotten. We will do it. We will do it in a big way. We will do it in a way that will make more meaning. Because, look, George, it will be nice, very nice, to have stood there, give everybody. And those who did it, Telesa and the others, I really congratulate them. Pentecost Church, I congratulate them.
There were private individuals who actually paid some huge monies to bring these Ghanaians back home.
I commend all of them. But I understand that. What I'm saying is that we have our program, and that program will be a program that will allow them to rebuild their lives into the medium to long term.
So that support will come.
Definitely.
The internal processes are being finalized.
Yes.
And it doesn't show that MTN Ghana doesn't care.
Not at all.
Not interested in all these things. And those who draw the link that, oh, that's the South African company,
of course. If there's anybody who should care, it is us. But it's just that we changed the mode of our package, and that created the delay. But not that we don't know. I mean, if you want to see evidence, I can show you the evidence.
I don't doubt you, Dr. Yamson. but for you, has all this thing, and now look at private sector, now look at MTN in Ghana, affected the brand in any way in terms of the goodwill? Because until today, I worked on your financials several times. I haven't taken the pain to scrutinize the shareholding. But there are some who still cannot devoid MTN Ghana together with the APSA, together with the Stambik and all the rest. And what has happened to some Ghanaians, especially some who said what broke the camel's back was those 2 lives that we lost during this period.
And not only that, I heard last week that the South African government wrote to Ghana
pay
government
for it. Yeah.
that we should pay
I'm aware of that one.
Yes. I mean, look, I don't want to get involved in the politics of South Africa, but it's a great disappointment for me, personally, because I expected the South African government, their president, to stand up and condemn it. The president said it is an African problem. So our president says, if it's an African problem, let's go and discuss that in the AU. Then you go and say, no, you can't, we won't allow it to be discussed the African problem. And that's the dishonesty of it. It's unfortunate. But do you then say you throw the water away with the baby? Do you say, because the South African politicians are messing up their own country, we should also destroy a country that we own here. Because I've told you just now, all the pension funds have their funds in MTN Ghana because they are getting good returns, right? So the company here is performing ethically and empathically with the people of Ghana. We spend more money investing in the communities than any single company in Ghana, right? So it is not the culture of the company here. It's not the culture of South Africa. We have a totally different culture. And our culture says, in the country where we work, we should be a force for good. And that is our philosophy. But it's unfortunate that these things have not come to open. So people don't know what we are planning to do. And therefore, it appears that we don't care. We haven't shown, we haven't acted quickly enough. But I can assure you that we condemn it. We dissociate ourselves from it. We have nothing to do with it. The group has nothing to do with it. The group chairman has condemned it. I have been to South Africa to condemn it. What else shall we do to demonstrate that, we are not part of what is going on? We are not.
Dr. Yamson, as we try and wrap up this discussion as well, how committed is MTN Ghana to local content and local ownership? I know that MTN has started something, but there are some who also think that enough has not been done in terms of local content and then local ownership as well.
Local ownership, we voluntarily went up to 30%. You show me, even the mining companies, show me one that has local shareholder of 30%. If that's not a demonstration of good faith, then I'm lost. All our vendors are Ghanaians here in this country. And I can tell you that if you go back, people whose life depend on MTN Ghana, that's why I'm saying, if we say, because of what is happening in South Africa, we should destroy MTN Ghana, it's not that you will destroy one company, but the lives you will destroy are many. They run in hundreds of thousands. So we would operate as an ethical company in Ghana. That is what we are supposed to do. We will operate here under the laws of Ghana. We will operate here committed to the people of Ghana, and we operate here as a force for good. That is our philosophy. And that is what we have been doing. That is what we intend to do, and we'll do it forever. I mean, for as long as I remain chairman, that's what we'll do.